As a user or customer, our expectation from customer support from big tech companies are sometimes pretty low. This can be frustrating, especially when we have issues that need to be resolved. And often we are put on hold for long periods of time or transfer from one department to another without any resolution. When building your startup, this is an area where you can get ahead of the big guys by offering blazing fast customer support, always be listening to your users, answering their inquiries, and fixing a critical bug in your app or implementing features requests as fast as possible. In this video, I'll walk you through how I leverage that to get more positive reviews for my app. Here's a quick personal story I've had with Facebook and TikTok customer support. As you might have guessed, it wasn't a pleasant experience, and that's why I made this video to showcase from a user point of view what we are expecting and how they miss it. So I'm building my startup SewaYou, a location-based language exchange app that connects people nearby to practice a language in person. The app was using Facebook login as one of the authentication methods, and a while ago they dropped the support for Android embedded browsers, which are web views for logging in users. So basically on some old Android devices, because of that deprecation, some users couldn't sign up for SewaYou using their Facebook account, but they can still do so by using their Google account. And because of the way how different developing platforms integrate the official Facebook SDK, you need those packages and libraries to catch up on first to integrate the latest updates in your own app. Sometimes it's as trivial as updating the package, but sometimes there are ongoing issues for months or even for years. And I'm not even kidding when I'm saying this. So you have to wait. Of course, that's why before any discontinuation or deprecation of a product or SDK, the company behind it leaves developers and users with some time margin. For my case, since it only impacts a tiny user base, so Android users using some old Android versions, it wasn't really an urgent matter, and I still need to wait the open source community to update the library I was using anyway. Fast forward a few months later, one day I woke up and received a notification on my Facebook developer console saying that the Facebook login functionality of my app is disabled for violating the Facebook platform policies. The reason behind it was that Facebook login didn't work on some Android devices, and while it still works perfectly on iOS and on more modern Android devices, they just decided to disable the entire integration altogether. I know that Facebook has their own terms of usage when integrating the service, but this one was a drastic measure. But the worst part of that is that while the app is disabled, there's no actionable way for me to try to get it fixed and reproduce the bug in production environment. And because when you build an app that depends on third-party integration, which sometimes depends on open source community, you really don't have much choice. So I decided to appeal for the case and contact Facebook and ask them to temporarily enable the integration for a few days or with restricted access. And to check out the issue, I log out from my account on my app to test, and guess what? I couldn't log in back into my own app. No replies from Facebook or whatsoever even after 3 business days. And so basically I was locked out from my own app for days. And after lots of trial and errors or workaround, I managed to get back into my own account on SewaYou and then implement in app a mechanism to allow people who were using Facebook to log in to create their own account to link their Google account and entirely get rid of the Facebook login altogether. Then 18 days later, I got a reply from Facebook for the appeal, and it was too late. The Facebook login button was already gone. So lesson learned here. Every piece of third-party integration you made into your app will bring in some sort of dependencies, so choose wisely whatever service you want to integrate. All right, here's another story from the TikTok customer support. So around a month ago, I decided to try out TikTok to post some short videos, content around life as a solo and foreign founder in Japan. When trying to log in, I realized that I've made an account already in the past with my handle @MarkPhilipKin. And I really want to get that handle back and use it from now on. Who knows, I might get famous one day, and having a good handle with your own full name is more appealing than having like @MarkPhilipKin2 or Philip Official or something. But it's been years ago, so I completely forgot which authentication method I used to create that account. And was it Google account? Which email? Because like I have 5 email addresses. Was it phone number? or even that, I got like 2 phone numbers. Was it Twitter, email plus password, which one I used? So I just forgot. So it was a bunch of combination possible. So I contacted the TikTok customer support directly via an online form on their website and described the issue in details and got a reply the next day, well, to ask exactly the same information I've already put into the form, asking for my username handle. I then replied back to request to delete my account because I cannot do that by myself since I couldn't log into the account. And then I got a reply asking me to delete the account myself, but the process obviously requires me to be logged in, things I cannot do. Then the conversation goes on and they ask me to send them some information like months and year when I created my account. And since it's been like years, I couldn't find any email from TikTok in the past and so on. And devices used, I also forgot that. Then I replied to the best of my knowledge, even attached a copy of my passport to verify my identity. And 2 days later, I got a reply. In that reply email, I got asked the exact same information from the previous email. So the signature was a generic like TikTok support team. So the person has either no context about the current case or didn't even bother looking at the conversation history. Then after multiple rounds of email asking and replying to the same questions, I got a different set of questions. And that time they asked me to send screenshots of my other social accounts like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, even Apple accounts to prove my identity. So I make sure to show them the required information with screenshots of those pages while being logged in. I thought that was it. Things are moving and I might finally get back my account. And then they reply with the same generic questions as before, asking the exact same question with the sign up month and year and login location. I was like, what the? Then I replied that it was the exact same set of questions like 5 times already from maybe 5 different people without the previous context and answers. Then I asked them to let me know at least which authentication method I used to create my old account back then, follow up, then nothing. No more replies or whatsoever. Frustrated, I just gave up the conversation with the TikTok support team and just decided to try out all the possible combinations, resetting password a dozen times and so on, and finally got back my account. By listening to this, you might think that the issue was trivial and that I just had to test out all the possibilities, but when doing the process, it wasn't that trivial. Anyway, both of the stories left me with a bitter user support experience. They didn't solve any of my issues, even after lots of back and forth exchange and not even offering an alternative. So why am I telling you these 2 stories? Well, that's how most big companies operate, and as a small startup, you should stay away from that. The mantra will be, always be responding fast, fixing the user or customer issue, no matter what workarounds or alternative solution, and you should also offer them something and not closing the conversation without any next step actions. You're building the product, so you should be aware of whatever bugs or issues on your own app and offering solutions or guide for an alternative fix. So here's how we do user or customer support at SewaYou. I say we to sound like we have an entire army of people waiting on the phone to answer users' inquiries, but it's just me with a bunch of notifications turned on to act as quick as possible whenever a new request comes in. There are 4 principles that I live by when dealing with users' issues and inquiries. The first principle is blazing fast response time. As a small startup, you have the advantage of being agile and responsive. So you should aim to respond to every user or customer inquiry within the shortest time possible, ideally within hours. I took that to the extreme and set a bunch of prioritized notifications with a specific sound and so on. You should also offer any kind of messaging ways for your users to contact you and not just email. You'll be surprised that a lot of people actually don't send email these days and prefer real-time messaging apps. Some users who encounter an issue will choose to churn and delete their account by default instead of contacting you, so making as frictionless as possible. On SewaYou, I have an official account where users can directly talk to us from the app, an email to contact, and also a Line official account, which is the most used instant messaging app in Japan, where SewaYou has the largest user base. I remember one time I was riding my bicycle to go somewhere and suddenly receive a notification from a user inquiry. I stop right away and find a spot nearby without people where I can put my bicycle for like 5 minutes and was standing there replying to the user's inquiry. This shows your users that you value their time and that you're committed to delivering excellent support. It also helps to build trust and confidence in your brand. They were even surprised and thought it was like a chatbot replying to the inquiry. And thanks to that fast response time, the person decided to leave a positive 5 stars review on the Google Play Store. Which leads us to the second principle, which is to seize the social momentum. What I mean by that is that most users will take good customer support for granted, and after getting the issue resolved, will go on with their life, keep using your app, but will not leave a positive review or rating if they are not asked. So it's your job to capture the value you provided while doing the support. Have you ever received an email asking to rate a customer center staff after solving an issue or case? That's what I mean. As soon as you feel that you made your user's day by solving their difficult inquiry, ask them right away to leave a positive rating or review or even testimonials. And when doing so, make it as frictionless as possible. For example, if you want them to write a review on the App Store, don't just ask, please leave us a review. They won't open the App Store app, type your app name, find it, and find the review section and leave a review. There are just too many steps that involve and most people are not willing to take. Instead, ask and put a clickable link to your App Store in your message. The link must be clickable. Don't expect them to copy and paste your message, trim it to get the URL, put it into the browser and click the search button. I even go further by adding a query parameter in the URL of the Apple App Store that allows to open directly on the right review page because it works, and that only works on Apple App Store and not Google Play Store. At the end of the day, it's a game number, so not every satisfied user will take the time to leave a review or even rate your app. But it's the timing that they are the most likely to leave a positive review, so seize that opportunity. The third principle is to go the extra mile, and I have 2 anecdotes for this one. The first one is about app subscription refund. So when you're doing an app purchase subscription, you'll need to cancel your subscription manually. If you don't cancel your subscription, you'll be charged for it automatically at the end of the subscription period. However, if you accidentally forget to cancel your subscription and been charged, there's no way for you to get refunded. And after analyzing lots of negative 1-star reviews on the app stores, a big chunk of those reviews are from users who forgot to cancel the subscription and get charged automatically. Even after leaving a bad review, most app developers would just reply with a generic templated message like, sorry, we are not able to refund you because of how it works and blah blah blah. Users don't care about that. They just want their money back because they paid for something they don't even use. So in the past, I got such messages from a user who get charged automatically, and the SewaYou subscription was like 500 yen, like $5. So they took the time to write a long message to claim back their money. I explained to him that we can refund him and the reasons why, but ending the message with the fact that we are happy to refund you with an Amazon gift card of the same amount. Maybe it's not a scalable thing to do when your startup grows, but it's not the right stage and timing for you to earn your users and customers' loyalty. Like Y Combinator's mantras goes, do things that don't scale. As happy as the user after receiving his Amazon gift card, I asked him to leave a review or rating, and guess what? 5-star reviews with lots of praise, you might guess. Nothing. Well, just a plain thank you message. Like I said, people tend to take good customer support for granted, but that's totally fine. Your goal as a company is to serve as best as you can your users and play the number game. That is, only a fraction of satisfied users will convert into leaving good reviews. But I'm pretty sure that that person would never leave a negative review about SewaYou and will likely keep using the app in the future or recommend the app to their friends. So at the end of the day, that's what matters. The second anecdote was from a user who had issues with the app UI. So on SewaYou app, you can post and share content in a feed, and that person couldn't do so. After receiving her inquiry and asking for some screenshots and screen recording to see what actually happened, it took me like 2 days to figure out the bug related to the issue. That one was a tough one. So basically some people turn on the accessibility reduce motion setting on the iPhone to reduce the iPhone animation. And it happens that this caused an issue with the text input component in my app, which caused the UI to break, so she wasn't able to create any content to post. But before finding the root issue, I thought it was due to the small screen of her device. So she was using like an old iPhone SE. So to test it, I went to buy a second-hand used iPhone SE. 2 days of trying to find and fix the bug, and it got finally solved, and she was happy. And again, I asked to leave a review or rate the app, and she was like, yeah, got it, will do. And days later, again, nothing. No new reviews or rating on the App Store, but she helped me find an issue that could happen to more users who enable the accessibility options. So it was a great finding. Another quick principle is to never terminate a case or issue report without a clear resolution. And the issue can be solved or not, but the user must know the final call and what to do next. So you should provide a solution or a workaround, or at least let them know that the issue won't be fixed for a while due to technical issue, etc. Just never finish a conversation by just ignoring the user's problem. And the last principle is to never answering a user's inquiry with templated or generic answer that helps nobody. People tend to think of customer support as like robots, or sometimes don't expect much. So surprise them by providing friendly support. Don't use overcomplicated jargons or confuse them. Instead, just help them solve the issue as if you were to help a friend. Here's a quick and funny exercise. So just open the App Store and go through some of the apps that you use daily and read their reviews, especially those with 1-star negative review. You'll be surprised to see the number of generic copy-pasted message like, please send us an email to blah blah @mycompany.com with more details on the issue. Despite the user spending time writing a long feedback with detailed explanation about the issue already in that message. So reply in an authentic way, avoid copy-pasted message, and a 1-star review can turn to a 5 stars. Alright, hope you find this video helpful to bring more human touch into your startup customer support and into your product. If you want to know some lessons I've learned from the founding story of Instagram, please watch this video here. Follow me on Instagram for bite-sized short videos on the behind the scene of building a startup as a solo and foreign founder in Japan. Like, share the video, and subscribe to the channel for similar content, and leave a comment if you have any thought on the topic. See you in the next one. Bye.